Oh my god. What's up? We have yaoi on the screen now. Good morning, folks. I was on the starting screen for a long time, and that's because I was taking my meds. Because I kind of have been forgetting to do that in the morning. So I figured if I do that just literally while the starting screen is happening, then I won't forget. Yeah. That's logical sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Anyways, good morning. Yay. Yeah, we're reading the yaoi source. Are we getting striked again? I hope not, because in theory this one should be free, public domain, because like I don't know how well it pops up on here. Hold on. But like I do have the Project Gutenberg version of DEMIAN pulled up, and as far as I know, Project Gutenberg is all public domain and free, and so in theory we should not be getting copyright struck, and if we do, then I guess I delete my channel and die. Yeah, it like surely it's over with. At least the translation, it says 1923. In the US it's like 100 years, so it's been over 100 years, so it's it's been 102 years, so surely everything will be okay. Project Goon, and we're reading the yaoi one. I was gonna say the yaoi fic, and that's not what I meant to say, but you know. What about sexual conduct? He doesn't do that. He is Sinclair. I don't even know where to go with that one, but he's just a little guy. Yeah. Room, it's midnight for me right now. If I stay, I might royally screw over my sleep schedule. You don't need to stay. Please go to sleep if you have to. I encourage good sleep schedules. I say as if I didn't also do the same thing literally last night. I'm not a hypocrite. I am a hypocrite, but do as I say, not as I do. You know, that the age-old saying, you know? Yeah, let's see. 11 p.m. for me. I'm going to make this my bedtime story and just nap right now. Hell yeah. You can use this as a bedtime story. If you really want to. Let's see. Where is the beginning of the book? Here it is. Okay. Let me drink this. This is like such a great thing about streaming at 8 a.m. Everyone else is not American, and so it gets really funny when I post things for Irium and everyone's like, what? Anyways, okay. Damien, the story of Emile Sinclair's youth, by Herman Hesse. 11 p.m. I still have the desire to beat a mirror dungeon. I mean, you could. I mean, if you don't have anything to do, then in theory you could. Sweet Rena Yaoi ASMR for your sleeping desires. You just start hearing the plap noises? No. That's bad. Don't listen to that. Don't listen to me. Okay. I wanted only to try to live in obedience to the promptings which came from my true self. Why is that so very difficult? In order to tell my story, I must begin far back. If it were possible, I should have to go back much further still, to the earliest years of my childhood and even beyond to my distant ancestry. Authors in writing novels usually act as if they were God, and could, by a broadness of perception, comprehend and present any human story as if God were telling it to himself without veiling anything, and with all the essential details. That was a long-ass sentence. That I cannot do, any more than can the authors themselves. But I attach more importance to my story than can any other writer to his. This is really hard to read out loud for some reason. Because it is my own, and it is the story of a human being, not that of an invented possible ideal, or otherwise non-existent creature, but that of a real, unique, living man. What that is, a real living man, one certainly knows less today than ever, for men are shot down in heaps, men of whom each one is a precious, unique experiment of nature. If we were nothing more than individuals, we could actually be put out of the world entirely with a musket ball, and in that case there would be no more sense in relating stories. But each man is not only himself, he is also the unique, quite special, and in every case the important and remarkable point where the world's phenomena converge, in a certain manner, never again to be repeated. For that reason, the history of everyone is important, eternal, divine. For that reason, every man, so long as he lives at all and carries out the will of nature, is wonderful and worthy of every attention. And everyone has a spirit taken shape, and everyone in creation suffers, and everyone is a redeemer crucified. Okay. Okay, man. Few today know what man is. Many feel it, and for that reason die the easier, as I shall die the easier when I have finished my story. I must not call myself one who knows. I was a seeker and am still, but I seek no more than the stars or in books. Haha. Sure you do, bro. I am beginning to listen to the promptings of those instincts which are coursing in my very blood. My story is not pleasant. It is not sweet and harmonious like the fictitious stories. It smacks of nonsense and perplexity, of madness and dreams, like the lives of all men who do not wish to delude themselves any longer. The life of everyone is a way to himself, the search for a road, the indication of a path. No man has ever yet attained from self-realization, yet he strives thereafter, one ploddingly, another with less effort, each as best as he can. Each one carries the remains of his birth, slime and eggshells of a primeval world, with him to the end. Many a one will remain a frog, a lizard, an ant. Many a one is top part man and bottom part fish. Oh my god, like Distortion Detective? Anyways, but everyone is a projection of nature into manhood. To us all the same origin is common, our mothers, we all come out of the womb, but each of us, an experiment, one of nature's litter, strives after his own ends. We can understand one another, but each one is able to explain only himself. And then, that was the intro. We did it! Ideal mentioned live song reaction! Ah! People with short attention span skips the prologue. I almost did that. I almost thought that it was optional, and then I saw the page number, and I was like, okay, so this part is actually important. Never mind then. Okay, chapter 1, Two Worlds. By the way, spoiler, he's going to piss you off, like, in the beginning, because he does that. Depending on how you read the book, it's really easy to get pissed off by him at the very, very, very beginning. And I can't even blame anyone who gets pissed off by him, because he is an 11-year-old boy. 11-year-olds are annoying. Especially when they try to be all like, oh, woe is me, I've committed a sin and I stole an apple. Ahem. Anyways. Moving on. Whoa. Okay, Two Worlds. I will begin my story with an event of the time when I was 10 or 11 years old and went to the Latin school of our little town. Much of the old-time fragrance is wafted back to me, but my sensations are not unmixed as I pass and review my memories. Dark streets and bright houses and towers, the striking of clocks and the features of men, comfortable and homely rooms, rooms full of secrecy and dread of ghosts. I sense again the atmosphere of cozy warmth, of rabbits and servant girls, of household remedies and dried fruit. Two worlds passed there one through the other. From two poles came forth day and night. The one world was my home, but it was even narrower than that, for it really comprised only my parents. This world was for the most part very well known to me. I met mother and father, love and severity, good examples in school. It was a world of subdued luster, of clarity and cleanliness. Here were tender, friendly words. Washed hands, clean clothes, and good manners. Here the morning hymn was sung and Christmas was kept. In this world were straight lines and paths which led unto the future. Here were duty and guilt, evil conscience and confession, pardon and good resolutions, love and adoration, Bible texts and wisdom. To this world our future had to belong. It had to be crystal pure, beautiful, and well ordered. The other world, however, began right in the midst of our own household. It was entirely different, had another odor, another manner of speech, and made different promises and demands. In the second world were servant girls and workmen, ghost stories and breath of scandal. There was the gaily colored flood, oh my god, of monstrous, tempting, terrible, enigmatical goings-on, oh my god, I can't speak, oh my god, okay. Things such as the slaughterhouse and prison, drunken men and scolding women, cows and birth throes, plunging horses, tales of burglaries, murders, suicides. All these beautiful and dreadful, wild and cruel things were round about, in the next street, in the next house. Policemen and tramps passed to and fro. Drunken men beat their wives. Crowds of young girls flowed out of factories in the evening. Old women were able to bewitch you and make you ill. Robbers dwelt in the wood. Incendiaries were rounded up by mounted policemen. Everywhere seethed and reeked the second passionate world. Everywhere except in our rooms where mother and father were. And that was a good thing. It was wonderful that here in our house there were peace, order and repose, duty and a good conscience, pardon and love, and wonderful that there were also all the other things, all that was loud and shrill, sinister and violent, yet from which one could escape with one bound to mother. Okay, so, you know what, rereading this, I can get why people don't like him at first. He does seem a bit, for lack of a better word, condescending. So silly, Sinclair. Okay. And the oddest thing was how closely the two worlds bordered each other, how near they both were. For instance, our servant Lena, as she sat by the sitting room door at evening prayers and sang the hymn with her bright voice, her freshly washed hands laid on her smoothed out apron, belonged absolutely to father and mother, to us, to what was bright and proper. Immediately after, in the kitchen or in the woodshed, when she was telling me the tale of the headless dwarf, or when she quarreled with the woman of the neighborhood in the little butcher's shop, then she was another person, belonged to another world, and she was enveloped in mystery. It was the same with everything and everyone, especially with myself. To be sure, I belonged to the bright, respectable world. I was my parents' child, but the other world was present in everything I saw and heard, and also lived in. I also lived in it, although it was often strange and foreign to me, although one had there regularly a bad conscience and anxiety. Why is that sentence funky? Where's the mom at? That's not until like halfway in. Full on, she does not appear for a while, actually. The first part is literally just Sinclair being like, oh, I'm just a little guy. Oh no, my world has been ruined. Sometimes I even like to live in the forbidden world best, and often the homecoming into the brightness, however necessary and good it may be, seemed almost like a return to something less beautiful, to something more uninteresting and desolate. At times I realized this. My aim in life was to grow up like my father and mother, as bright and pure, as systematic and superior. But the road to attainment was long. You had to go to school and study and pass tests and examinations. The road led past the other dark world and through it, and it was not improbable that you would remain there and be buried in it. There were stories of prodigal sons to whom that had happened. I was passionately fond of reading them. There, the return home to father and to the respectable world was always so liberating and so sublime. I quite felt that this alone was right and good and desirable. But still, that part of the stories which dealt with the wicked and profligate was by far the most alluring, and if one had been allowed to acknowledge it openly, it was really often a great pity that the prodigal repented and was redeemed. But one did not say that, nor did one actually think it. It was only present somehow or other as a presentiment or a possibility, deep down in one's feelings. When I pictured the devil to myself, I could quite well imagine him down below in the street, openly or in disguise, or at the annual fair in the public house, but I could never imagine him with us at home. Woo, we're getting through so many paragraphs. Or maybe you know Sinclair. People are complex and not one-dimensional characters. It's almost like he's 11 years old, and this is how he views the world as an 11-year-old, because he hasn't experienced the world because he's 11 or something. Oh my gosh, who would have thought? Where's the next paragraph? This one. Page 8. Okay, we made it through like 8 pages. That's crazy. My sisters also belonged to the bright world. It often seemed to me that they approached more nearly to father and mother, that they were better and nicer mannered than myself without so many faults. They had their failings. They were naughty. But that did not seem to me to be deep-rooted. Why did that? Okay. The text is tiny, that's why. Maybe if I like zoomed in a little bit. To be deep-rooted. It was not the same as for me, for whom the contact with evil was strong and painful, and the dark world so much nearer. My sisters, like my parents, were to be treated with regard and respect. If you had a quarrel with them, your own conscience accused you afterwards as the wrongdoer and the cause of the squabble, as the one who had to beg pardon. For in opposing my sisters, I offended my parents, the representatives of goodness and law. There are secrets which I would much sooner have shared with the most depraved street urchins than with my sisters. On good, bright days, which I had a good conscience, it was often delightful to play with my sisters, to be gentle with them, and nice to them, and to see myself under a halo of goodness. That was how it must be if you weren't an angel. Where am I? That was the most sublime thing we knew, to be an angel, surrounded by sweet sounds and fragrance like Christmas and happiness. But oh, how seldom were such days and hours perfect. Often when we were playing one of the nice, harmless, proper games, I was so vehement and impetuous, and I so annoyed my sisters that we were quarreled and were unhappy. Then, when I was carried away by anger, I did and said things, the wickedness of which I felt deep and burning within me, even while I was doing and saying them. Then came sad, dark hours of remorse and contrition, the painful moment which I begged pardon, then again a beam of light, a peaceful, grateful happiness without discord for minutes or hours. That was Sinclair. Just got out of a really bad interaction. Hope the stream can help cool me down. It's literally just reading. I hope it does. Hopefully it does. We're literally just straight up Sinclairing it right now. Him and his long paragraphs. I used to go to the Latin school. The sons of the mayor and of the head forester were in my class and sometimes used to come to our house. They were wild boys, but still they belonged to the world of goodness and propriety. In spite of that, I had close relations with neighbors' boys, children of the public school, whom in general you despised. With one of these I must begin my story. Oh boy, guys, he's actually starting the thing. Okay, wait. I keep losing my place. One half holiday, I was little more than 10 at the time. I went out with 2 boys of the neighborhood. A public school of about 13 years joined our party. He was bigger than we were, a coarse and robust fellow, the son of a tailor. His father was a drunkard, and the whole family had a bad reputation. I knew Okay. Frank Cromer. I don't know if I can just like retcon it as Franz. Like, because I know Cromer as Franz Cromer. This translation writes it down as Frank Cromer. I might just end up saying Franz Cromer. No, not the popcorn. Quickly get another one while I drink my water again because I'm so freaking dehydrated. Ahem. Let's see. No, okay. If you say so, then you'll be popcornless. I'm full. Oh, then that's fine. I knew Franz Cromer well. I was afraid of him and was very much displeased when he joined us. He had already acquired manly ways and imitated the gait and manner of speech of the young factory hands. Under his leadership, we stepped down to the bank of the stream and hid ourselves from the world under the first arch of the bridge. The little bank between the vaulted bridge wall and the sluggishly flowing water was composed of nothing but trash, of broken china and garbage, of twisted bundles of rusty iron wire and other rubbish. We sometimes found there useful things. We had to search the stretch under Frank Cromer's direction and show him what we found. He then either kept it himself or threw it away into the water. He bid us note whether the things were of lead, brass, or tin. Everything we found of this description he kept for himself, as well as an old horn comb. I felt very uneasy in his company, not because I knew that father would have forbidden our playing together had he known of it, but through a fear of Frank himself. I was glad that he treated me like the others. He commanded and we obeyed him. It seemed habitual to me, although that was the first time I was with him. At last we sat down. Frank spat into the water and looked like a full-grown man. He spat through a gap in his teeth, directing the sputum, and any... How did I say septum? You're reading Demian. You turned him into a book. Hell yeah, we did. It's what he deserves after being so cryptic all the time. Directing the sputum in any direction he wished. He began a conversation, and the boys vied with one another in bragging of schoolboy exploits and pranks. I was silent, and yet, if I said nothing, I was afraid of calling attention to myself and inciting Cromer's anger towards me. My two comrades had from the beginning turned their backs on me and had sided with him. I was a stranger among them, and I felt my clothes and manner to be a provocation. It was impossible that Frank should like me, a Latin schoolboy and the son of a gentleman, and the other two, I felt, as soon as it came to the point, would disown me and leave me in the lurch. Ahem. At last, through mere fray, I also began to relate a story. I invented a long narration of theft, of which I made myself the hero. In a garden by the mill on the corner, I recounted I had one night, with the help of a friend, stolen a whole sack of apples, and those none of the ordinary sorts, but russets and golden pippins, the very best. In the danger of the moment, I had recourse to the telling of the story, which I invented easily and recounted readily. In order not to have to finish off immediately, and so perhaps to be led from bad to worse, I gave full scope to my inventive powers. One of us, I continued, always had to stand sentinel, while the other was throwing down apples from the tree, and the sack had become so heavy that at last we had to open it again and leave half the apples behind. But we returned at the end of half an hour, and took the rest away with us. I hoped at the end to gain some little applause. I had warmed to my work and had let myself go in my narration. The two small boys waited quiet and expectant, but Frank Cromer looked at me penetratingly, through half-closed eyes, and asked me in a threatening tone, "Is that true?" "Yes," I said. "Really and truly?" "Yes, really and truly," I asserted defiantly, though inwardly I was stifling through fear. "Can you swear to it?" I was terribly frightened, but I answered without hesitation, "Yes." "Then say, 'I swear by God and all that's holy.'" I said, "I swear by God and all that's holy." "Ah, Guan." "What?" said he and turned away. What does that mean? What does he mean by that? "Ah, Guan." I don't think that's what it says in my copy of it, but who knows? I thought that everything was now all right, and was glad when he got up and made for the town. When we were on the bridge, I said timidly that I must now go home. "Don't be in such a hurry," laughed Frank. "We both go the same way." He dawdled on, and I dared not tear myself away, especially as he was actually taking the road to our house. As we arrived, I looked at the heavy brass knocker, the sun on the window, and the curtains in my mother's room, and I breathed a sigh of relief. Home at last. What a blessing it was to be at home again, to return to the brightness and peace of the family circle. As I quickly opened the door and I slipped inside, ready to shut it behind me, Frank Cromer forced his way in as well. He stood beside me, in the cool, dark stone corridor, which was only lighted from the courtyard, held me by the arm and said softly, "Not so fast, you. Uh-oh." Guan moment. Rena, yes. I feel like I'm drinking so much water and I'm only 25 minutes in. Realistically, this should be like a popcorn streaming thing. What were the reviews of this? Of this version specifically, I could not tell you, because this one is in fact Let's see. This one is in fact free, and so there are no reviews on it, as far as I can tell. So, yeah, I would not know, but I could check like, I could like really quickly open Goodreads or something. Hold on. Typity type. Goodreads a moment. Let's see, what's on Goodreads? That is my professor. For DEMIAN itself. DEMIAN itself has a 4.14 average ratings out of 5. So in case you're curious, yeah. Not the professor, no, not the professor. Thankfully my professor still hasn't found my channel. Woohoo. Not that I think she would like actively search for it, but like, you never know. It could happen one day. Anyways. Terrified, I looked at him. His grip on my arm was one of iron. I tried to think what he had in his mind, whether he was going to maltreat me. I wondered if I should scream, whether anyone would come down quickly enough to save me, but I gave up the idea. What's the matter? I asked. What do you want? Nothing much. I only want to ask you something. Something the others needn't hear. Well, what do you want me to tell you? I must go upstairs, you know. You know, don't you, whose orchard that is by the mill in the corner, said Frank softly. No, I don't know. I think it's the miller's. Frank had wound his arm around me, and he drew me quite close to him, so that I had to look up directly into his face. His look boded ill. He smiled maliciously, and his face was full of cruelty and power. Now, kid, I can tell you whose the garden is. I have known for a long time that the apples had been stolen, and I also knew that the man said he would give 2 marks to anyone who would tell him who stole the fruit. Good heavens, I exclaimed. But you won't tell him anything. I felt it was useless to appeal to his sense of honor. He came from the other world. For him, betrayal was no crime. I felt that for a certainty. In these matters, people from the other world were not like us. Say nothing, laughed Cromer. Look here, my friend. Do you think I am minting money and can make 2 shilling pieces of myself? I'm a poor chap, and I haven't got a rich father like yours, and when I get the chance of earning 2 shillings, I must take it. He might even give me more. Suddenly he let me go free. Our house no longer gave me an impression of peace and safety. The world fell to pieces around me. He would report me as a criminal. My father would be told. Perhaps even the police might come for me. The terror of utter chaos menaced me. All that was ugly and dangerous was the line against me. The fact that I had not stolen at all did not count in the least. I had sworn to it besides. Oh dear, oh dear. I burst into tears. I felt I must buy myself off. Despairingly, I searched all my pockets. Not an apple, not a penknife, absolutely nothing. All at once I thought of my watch. It was an old silver one which wouldn't go. I wore it for no special reason. It came down to me from my grandmother. I drew it out quickly. Cromer, I said. Listen, you mustn't give me away. That wouldn't be nice of you. As if bro would care? Look here, I will give you my watch. I haven't anything else. Worse luck. You can have it. It's a silver one. The mechanism is good. There's one little thing wrong. That's all. It needs repairing. He smiled and took the watch in his big hand. I looked at his hand and felt how coarse and hostile it was, how it grasped at my life in peace. It's silver, I said timidly. I wouldn't give a straw for your silver in your old watch, he said with deep scorn. Get it repaired yourself. But, Frank, I exclaimed, quivering with fear lest he should go away. Wait a minute. Do take the watch. It's really silver, really and truly, and I haven't got anything else. He gave me a cold and scornful look. Very well, then, you know who I am going to, or I can tell the police. I know the surgeon very well. He turned to go. I held him back by the sleeve. I could not let that happen. I would much rather have died than bear all that would take place if he went away like that. Frank, I implored, hoarse with emotion. Please don't do anything silly. Tell me it's only a joke, isn't it? Oh yes, a joke, but it might cost you dear. Do tell me, Frank, what to do. I'll do anything. He examined me critically through his screwed-up eyes and laughed again. Don't be silly, he said with affected affability. You know as well as I do. I've got the chance of earning a couple of marks, and I'm not such a rich fellow that I can afford to throw it away. You know that well enough. But you're rich. Why, you've even got a watch. You need only give me just 2 marks and everything will be all right. I understood his logic, but 2 marks? For me that was as much and just as unobtainable as 10, as 100, as 1,000 marks. I had no money. There was a money box that my mother kept for me, with a couple of 10 and 5 pfennig? I don't know if I said that right. Pfennig pieces inside, which I received from my uncle when he paid us a visit, or from similar sources. I had nothing else. At that age, I received no pocket money at all. Let's see. 2 coins. I gotta go have fun. Have fun! Stay safe! Low-key wish this were Twitch because this would be a really good stream to claim Mark of Cain 2023 on. So true. Let me see if I can pull him up for like 10 minutes. Pretend that he just appeared, you know? Hold on. Here he is. Here he is. The guy. He can He can stand on the table. Actually, what if he just stood on the table this whole time? Hear me out. It's sticker fun time. Sticker fun time, but it's just Damien standing on the table. Wait. Sinclair, hear me out on this one. Let me find the pictures. Hold on. You guys like my decorations? Oh my god, we're collaborating with hit streamer Mark of Cain 2023. I have BL Demian defined. Let's see. Hit his ankles and his kneecaps. No. Okay. This is how, you know what? We should have a Cromer on here too. Hold on. Cromer Limbus Company. Let's see, should we get the Cromer pillar out specifically? Let's get the Cromer pillar out specifically. Get him, Sinclair. He's so much smaller in person. I know, he's so tiny. Let's see. This is just a good representation of what actually happens, you know? Pictures, camera roll, there. And then it's WebP, so I hope it shows up. If it doesn't, then oh well. Cromer pillar. Do. You guys like the figurines going on at this table? There's quite a bit going on at this table. She's so tiny. She's so tiny. Wait. I can make her like. Okay, I kind of can't make her to scale because she's a bit large. It might take up too much of the screen, but it's okay. There we go. This is just like the real story. Oh my gosh, yeah, this is exactly what's happening now. See, this is what Cromer appears like to Sinclair, and Sinclair's like, oh no! Woe is me! Don't do anything bad to me! No! No! And then this is Cromer, and Cromer's like, haha, you stole apples and I know the police, even though bro is totally bluffing. And Demian, you're not even here yet. But he will be here. But right now he's not. And that's the you just have to make Sinclair comically small, then it's the scale. Oh, true. Hold on. He can like hide behind her. Oh my god. Yeah, I'd be pretty freaked out if I had to fight something like that too. There we go. This is accurate yaoi scalings. Finally, the long-awaited collab between Mark of Cain 2023, Unhatched 2024, and Nagel Not Hammer 2022. Oh my gosh! Wow, so many streamers on screen right now. A screenshot. Oh my god. Where'd you get that from? Wow, I love the part where Herman has to start subscribing BL in a cool anime fight in the middle of his 1919 coming of age story. Yeah, don't you remember this part happening? Yeah, and then there's like a huge caterpillar too. Yeah, I remember the huge caterpillar that started like tearing everyone apart. And there was also this guy, and he was like, wow, oh no. And there like apples weren't involved at all. There was also this guy, and that's what he did. He made those exact same noises. Trust. Okay. Let's see. Where are we? Okay. I have nothing, I said sadly. I have no money at all, but I'll give you everything I have. I've got a book about red Indians and also soldiers and a compass. I'll get that for you. But Cromer only screwed up his evil mouth and spat on the ground. Quit your jawing, he said commandingly. You can keep your old trash yourself. A compass, don't make me angry, do you hear? And hand over the money. But I haven't any. I never get money. I can't help it. Very well then, you'll bring me the 2 marks in the morning. I shall wait for you in the market after school. That's all. If you don't bring any money, look out. Yes, but where shall I get it then? Good lord, if I haven't any, there's enough money in your house. That's your business. Tomorrow after school, then. And I tell you, if you don't bring it, his eyes darted a terrible look past at me. He spat again and vanished like a shadow. Shadow the Hedgehog. Cromer, you don't have a compass. Hear me out, Golden Apple Ego for Sinclair. You lack curiosity. Oh my god, so true. Sinclair and the apples. Oh. Okay, where were we? I could not go upstairs. My life was ruined. I wondered if I should run away and never come back or go and drown myself, but these thoughts were not clearly formulated. I sat crouched in the dark on the bottom step, and I surrendered myself to my misfortune. There, Lena found me in tears as she came down with a basket to get wood. I begged her to say nothing on her return, and I went up. My father's hat and my mother's sunshade hung on the rack near the glass door. All these things reminded me of home and tenderness. My heart went out to them imploringly, and I, grateful for their existence, I felt like the prodigal son when he looked into his old, homely room and sensed its familiar atmosphere. All this, the bright father and mother world, was mine no longer, and I was buried deeply and guiltily in strange flood, ensnared in sinful adventures, beset by enemies and dangers, menaced by shame and terror. The hat and sunshade, the good old sandstone floor, the big picture over the hall cupboard, and the voice of my elder sister in the living room, all this was dearer and more precious to me than ever, but it was no longer consolation and secure possession. All of it was now a reproach. All this belonged to me no more. I could share no more in its cheerfulness and peace. I carried mud on my shoes that I could not wipe off on the mat. I brought shadows in with me, of which the home world had no knowledge. How many secrets had I already had? How many cares? But that was play, a mere nothing compared with what I was bringing in with me that day. Oh my god, that was a long paragraph. You need to give these characters fun voices for immersion? You're right. There's kind of not a lot of dialogue following up. Okay, where were we? Page 18? We don't get dialogue for a hot minute. Oh my god. That's okay, we just gotta get there. We just gotta get there. Trust. Yeah. 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 By the way, I'll make an edited image later. My laptop is busy right now. It's cool, bro. Sinclair, stop thinking. 11-year-olds aren't supposed to have thoughts. How dare? Okay. Fate was overtaking me. Hands were stretched out after me, from which even my mother could not protect me, of which she was to be allowed to no knowledge. It was all the same, whether my offense was thieving or a lie. Had I not taken a false oath by God? My sin was not this or that. I had tendered my hand to the devil. Why did I follow him? Why had I obeyed Cromer more than ever I did my father? Why had I falsely invented the story of the theft? Why had I plumed myself on having committed a crime, as if it had been a deed of heroism? Now the devil had me by the hand. Now the evil one was pursuing me. For a moment I felt no further dread of the morrow, but I had the terrible certainty that my way was leading me further and further downhill and into the darkness. I realized clearly that from my wrongdoing, other wrongdoings must result, that the greetings and kisses I gave to my parents would be a lie, that a secret destiny I should have to conceal hung over me. For an instant, confidence and hope came to me like a lightning flash as I gazed at my father's hat. I would tell him everything, would accept his judgment and the punishment he might met out. He would be my confidant and would save me. Confession was all that would be necessary, as I had made so many confessions before. A difficult, bitter hour, a serious, remorseful plea for forgiveness. How sweetly that sounded, how tempting that was, but nothing came of it. I knew that I should not do it. I knew that I now had a secret, that I was burdened with guilt for which I myself would have to bear the responsibility alone. Perhaps I was at this very moment at the crossroads. Perhaps from this hour henceforth, I should have to belong to the wicked, forever share secrets with the bad, depend on them, obey them, and become as one of themselves. I had pretended to be a man and a hero, nor had I. Now I had to take the consequences. See, if you kind of forget that he's an 11-year-old, it kind of goes hard. But if you remember he's an 11-year-old, it's like, dude, calm down. You still have your whole life ahead of you. This is just a bully at school. I was glad that my father, as he entered, found fault with my wet boots. It diverted his attention from something worse, and I allowed myself to suffer his reproach, secretly thinking of the other. That gave birth to a peculiar new feeling in me, an evil cutting feeling like a barbed hook. I felt superior to my father. I felt for an instant's duration a certain scorn of his ignorance. His scolding over the wet boots seemed to me petty. If you only knew, I thought, and looked upon myself as a criminal who was being tried for having stolen a loaf of bread, while he ought to confess to having committed murder. It was an ugly and repugnant feeling, yet strong and not without a certain charm, and it chained me to my secret and my guilt more securely than anything else. Perhaps Cromer has already gone to the police and given me away, I thought, and a storm is starting to break over my head, while here I am looked upon as a mere child. This was the important and permanent element of the whole event up to this point in my narration. It was the first cleft in the sacredness of parenthood. It was the first split in the pillar on which my childhood had reposed, and which everyone must overthrow before he can attain to self-realization. The inward, fundamental basis of our destiny is built up from these events, which no outsider observes. Such a split or cleft grows together again, heals up, and is forgotten, but in the most secret chamber of the soul it continues to live and bleed. I myself felt immediate terror in the presence of this new feeling. I would have liked to embrace my father's feet there and then, to beg for his forgiveness. But one cannot beg pardon for something fundamental, and a child knows and feels that as well as and as deeply as any adult. Oh my god. I'm tripping over so many words, but it's okay. I felt the need to think over the affair and to consider ways and means for the morrow, but I did not get around to it. My whole evening was taken up solely in accustoming myself to the changed atmosphere of our living room. Clock and table, Bible and looking glass, bookcase and pictures seemed all to be saying goodbye to me. With freezing heart, I had to stand by and watch my world, the good happy time of my life, sever itself from me, to be relegated to the past. I was forced to realize that I was being held fast to new sucking roots in the darkness of the unfamiliar world outside. For the first time I tasted death, and death tasted bitter, for it is birth with the terror and fear of a formidable renewal. Oh my god, he speaks so much. I was glad to be lying at last in bed, but first I had passed through purgatory in the form of evening prayers, and we had sung a hymn, one of my favorite ones. Alas, I did not join in, and each note was gall and poison for me. I did not join in the common prayer either, which my father gave the blessing, and when he finished, be with us all. I tore myself convulsively from the circle. The grace of God was with them all, but with me no longer. Cold and very tired, I went away. After I had lain a while in bed, wrapped around in warmth and safety, my troubled heart stayed back once again and fluttered uneasily in the past. Mother had wished me good night, as she always did. Her step sounded yet in the room. The light of her candle gleamed through the crack in the door. Now, I thought, now she will come back again. She has felt my need. She will give me a kiss and will ask, in tones kind and full of promise, what is the matter. Then I can weep. The lump in my throat will melt away. I will throw my arms about her and will tell her, and everything will be all right. I shall be saved. And when the crack in the door had become dark again, I still listened for a while and thought, she must come, she must. Then I came back to reality and looked my enemy in the face. I saw him clearly. He had one eye closed. His mouth laughed uncouthly. While I gazed at him in the inevitable nod at my heart, he became bigger and more ugly, and his wicked eye lit up devilishly. He was close beside me until I dropped off to sleep. But I did not dream of him, nor of the day's events. I dreamed instead that we were in a boat, my parents, my sisters, and I, lapped in peace in the brightness of a holiday. I woke up in the middle of the night, with the aftertaste of bliss. I still saw the white summer dresses of my sisters glistening in the sun, and then fell from my paradise back to reality, and the enemy of the wicked eye stood opposite me. I looked ill when Mother came in quickly in the morning and told me how late it was and wanted to know why I was still in bed, and when she asked what was the matter with me, I vomited. But I seemed to have gained a point. I rather liked to be someone ill and to be allowed to spend the morning in bed drinking chamomile tea, to listen to Mother clearing up in the next room, and to hear Lena outside in the corridor opening the door to the butcher. To stay away from morning school was rather like a fairy story, and the sun which played in the room was not the same you saw through the green curtains at school. But today all this had lost its charm for me. It had a false ring about it. If I had died, but I was only slightly ill, as I had often been before, and nothing was gained by that. It prevented me from going to school, but it did not protect me in any way from Cromer, who would be waiting for me in the market at 11 o'clock. And Mother's friendliness was this time without comfort. It was burdensome and painful. I soon pretended to be asleep again, and thought the matter over, but all to no purpose. I had to be in the market at 11 o'clock. For that reason, I got up at 10, and said that I was better. As usual in such cases, I was told that either I must go back to bed or go to school in the afternoon. I said I would rather go to school. I had formed a plan. I dared not to go to Cromer without money. I had to get possession of the little savings box which belonged to me. There was not enough money in it, far from enough, I knew, but it was still a little, and something told me a little was better than nothing, for at least Cromer had to be appeased. I felt horrible as I crept in my socks into my mother's room and took my box from her writing table, but it was not so horrible as the previous day's experience. My heart beat so fast I nearly died, and it was no better when I found, at the first look, down below at the stairs, that the box was locked. It was easy to break it open, and it was only necessary to cut through a thin plate of tin, but the action caused me pain, for only in doing this was I committing theft. Up to then I had only taken lumps of sugar and fruit on the sly. Now I had stolen something, although it was my own money. I realized I had taken a step nearer Cromer in his world. Rose, speed reading. Thank you. I feel like I'm fumbling over too much, but it is literally impossible for me to slow down. Ahem. I realized I had taken a step nearer Cromer in his world, that I was slipping gradually downwards, and I adopted an attitude of defiance. The devil could run away with me if he liked. There was no way out. I anxiously counted the money. It had sounded so much in the box. Now in my head it was miserably little. There were 65 pfennigs. I hid the box in the basement, held the money in my closed fist, and went out of the house, with a feeling different from any with which I had ever left the portal before. Someone called to me from above, I thought, but I quickly went on my way. There was still plenty of time. I sneaked by a roundabout way through the streets of a changed town, beneath clouds I had never seen before, by houses which seemed to spy on me, and people who suspected me. Oh my god. I need to slow down, but I physically cannot, which is so, On the way, I recollected that one of my school friends had once found a thaler in the cattle market. I would have liked to pray to God to work a miracle and allow me to make such a treasure trove, but I had no longer the right to pray, and even then the box would not be made whole again. Frank Cromer saw me in the distance. However, he came along very slowly and seemed not to be looking out for me. As he approached me, he beckoned me commandingly to follow. He passed on tranquilly, without once looking round, went down Straw Street and over the bridge, and stopped on the outskirts of the town in front of a new building. No one was working there. The walls stood bare, without doors or windows. Cromer looked round and then went through the doorway. I followed him. He stood behind the wall, beckoned to me, and stretched out his hand. Okay. Voices. That makes 65 pfennigs, he said and looked at me. Yes, I said timidly. That's all I have. It's too little, I know, but it's all. I haven't any more. I thought you were cleverer than that, he exclaimed, blaming me in what were almost mild terms. Between men of honor, there must be honest dealing. I will not take anything from you except what is right. You know that. Take your pfennigs back there. The other, you know who, doesn't try to beat me down. He pays. But I have absolutely nothing else. That was my money box. That's your affair. But I don't want to make you unhappy. You still owe me 1 mark. 1 mark, 35 pfennig. When can I have it? Oh, you will have it soon, certainly, Cromer. I don't know yet. Perhaps tomorrow or the day after. I shall have some more. You understand that I can't tell my father, don't you? That's no concern of mine. I don't want to harm you. If I liked, I could get the money before noon, you see, and I'm poor. You wear nice clothes and you get something better to eat for dinner than I do. But I won't say anything. I am willing to wait a few days. The day after tomorrow in the afternoon I will whistle for you, then you will bring it along. You can recognize my whistle? He gave me a whistle that I had often heard before. Yes, I said. I know it. He went away, as if I didn't belong to him. It had only been a transaction between us, nothing further. Haha, L. Okay. Even today, I believe Cromer's whistle would terrify me if I heard it again suddenly. From then on, I heard it often. It seemed I heard it continually and always. No place, no game, no work, no idea in which this whistle would not sound. I was dependent on it. It was now the messenger of my fate. On mild, glowing autumn afternoons, I was often in our little flower garden, which I loved dearly. A peculiar impulse made me take up again boyish games which I had played formerly. I played, as it were, that I was a boy who was younger than I, who was still good and free, innocent and secure. But in the middle of the game, always expected and yet always terribly disturbing and surprising, sounded Cromer's whistle, destroying the picture my imagination had painted. He said the thing. He said the whistle. Ah! Whistle mention. Then I had to go. I had to follow my tormentor to evil and ugly places, had to render an account and let myself be done. The whole business may have lasted a few weeks, but it seemed to me like a year, or an eternity. I seldom had money, a 5 or 10 pfennig piece stolen from the kitchen table when Lena left the market basket standing there. Each time I was blamed by Cromer and heaped with abuse. It was I who deceived him and kept back what was due. It was I who robbed him and made him unhappy. Seldom in life has need so oppressed me. Seldom have I felt a greater helplessness, a greater dependence. I had filled up the savings box with toy money. No one made any inquiries, but that as well could be discovered any day. I was even more afraid of Mother than of Cromer's harsh whistle, especially when she stepped up to me softly. Was she not going to ask me about the money box? As I presented myself to my evil genius several times without money, he began to torment and to make use of me after a different fashion. I had to work for him. He had to see to various things for his father. I did that for him, or he made me do something more difficult, hop on one leg for 10 minutes, or fasten a scrap of paper onto the coat of a passerby. Many nights these torments realized themselves in my dreams, and I wept and broke out in a cold sweat in my nightmare. For a time I was ill. I often vomited and felt cold, but at night I lay in a fever, bathed in perspiration. Mother felt that something was wrong and displayed much sympathy on my behalf, but this tortured me because I could not respond by confiding in her. One evening, after I had already gone to bed, she brought me a piece of chocolate. This action was a souvenir of former years when, if I had been good, I was often rewarded in the way before going back to sleep. Now she stood there and held the piece of chocolate out to me. This so pained me that I could do nothing but shake my head. She asked what was the matter with me and stroked my hair. I could only sob out, "Nothing, nothing, I won't have anything." She put the chocolate on my bed table and went away. When she wished subsequently to question me on the matter, I made as if I knew nothing about it. Once she brought the doctor to me, who examined me and prescribed cold ablutions in the morning. My state at the time was a sort of insanity. I was shy and lived in torment like a ghost in the midst of the well-ordered peace of our house. I had no part in the others' lives, and could seldom, even for as much as an hour, forget my miserable existence. In the presence of my father, who often took me to task in an irritated fashion, I was reserved and wrapped up in myself. Woohoo! We got through 30 pages! How much is the second chapter? If it's less than... if it's 30 or less, we can read it. Oh shoot. 30 or less, I guess we're reading it. Or not, I don't know. My voice is kind of tired. I did not expect for a reading stream to take that much out of me. I won't even lie. So we can move on to something else if you guys feel like it. I don't know how to change the thing on YouTube, but in theory, we could entirely move on to like mirror dungeons or something. Not that anyone actually, not that anyone would want to see my mirror dungeons, because my mirror dungeons are kind of like, you know, they're kind of lame, because they're mirror dungeons and they are intrinsically kind of boring. But yeah, my voice is tired, but I did kind of speed through that faster than I thought I would. So what are our thoughts today, folks? Are we going for chapter 2? Are we going for something else? Turn the stream into hell and do everything at once. I could. In theory, I could. Ho ho. Let's close this tab. Let's close this tab. What are we doing? What defines everything at once? Do we open up Item Asylum again and hope for the best? We could. Let's see. Let me like, okay. Do this. Do this. Do that. Do this. This will be your second strike, bro. I know. Imagine. Okay, wait. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't worry. We're not gonna like pull up something else. We're not gonna pull up another thing that might be copyright strike. That might copyright strike me. We are going to, in fact, what's it called? Item Asylum? Actually, no. Actually, yeah, I did get copyright struck from the what's it called? The Roblox stream, fun fact. Just pull out the new Limbus trailer. Oh shoot! You're right! I could do that! Wait! That's genius! Hold on. Let me, like, do that. Open up YouTube. Not pull up, what's it called? Hold on. I just realized I haven't seen it. That's crazy. Limbus Company. Okay. Okay, live reaction. Woohoo! Let's do this. And then do that. Oh, that's kind of big. And then put this here. Put that there. Okay, we're gonna put this on screen. It's gonna be covered, and it's going to be covering reading DEMIAN while playing Item Asylum, Mirror Dungeon in the corner, playing the Slay the Princess soundtrack. Just completely go from like cozy reading stream to just everything everywhere all at once. Okay. Okay, new trailer. Let's go. Actually, I just realized you guys probably can't hear it. Oops. Let me do this. It was output, application, there, and then here, and then there. Okay, we're gonna watch this now. Hope for the best. Woohoo! Limbus Company, Chapter 8. I feel like the quality is a bit... No, it's fine. There's just a lot of effects. Oh shoot. That's a lot going- there's a lot going on already. Coins? Coins? Heisho Pack Sea Branch Rojian? Oh, she looks so cool. She has purple eyes. Is it C or Suh? Greg? Oh my god. Whoa. Hold on. Hold on. Rewind. Rewind. What is going on there? What the freak? Greg fans. Oh my gosh. You guys are getting fed. So are Roja fans, but like Greg fans. Sea branch, snake branch. Wait, hold on, rewind. New ego? stop! They look so cool! Oh my god, Ishmael! Oh yeah, Don Quixote! Oh my god, she looks so cute! Snake. This is a snake branch of the Chinese zodiac. Oh shoot! That's kind of cool actually. I said kind of, but that's actually really cool. Rupture stocks is an all-time high. What the hell? We just read his book! Oh my god! Oh my god! Why is he surfing so hard? Guys! What? What? This is not the same guy who was talking about... Oh my god! Oh my god! This is not the same guy who was literally just talking about... What's it called? How sad he was because he what's it called? Oh no, the apples that I didn't steal. Oh no, the money box. Ah, Cromer. That's not the same person. That's not the same person. What the hell? What? What? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, wait, I should probably watch the full thing. Go, white boy, go! And he has the red wings. Oh my god, guys. What if I just died right now? What's this one? Oh my god, Honglu! Yeah! The man of the hour! Oh, he is gorgeous. Oh, what did he just do? I'm sorry. That was a lot funnier than it should have been. Oh my god. Oh my god. Bro gave up. Counter ego. What? What? Oh my god. Zilu and Zigong. Wait. Zigong. Okay. So Zulu and Zigong. This is about minimum, right? Oh my god. Who are these new people? Unless they're not new and I just need to catch up. Oh my god. That was a lot that just happened. Guys, I'm calling it now. This is Zhanghua Yi. Okay. I'm calling it now. This is going to be the most intense, the most insane. I made an edit for you. Oh my god. Ayo. Turn this into a Limbus stream. Oh my god, I could. I did say I wouldn't Limbus stream anymore, but at the same time, I could. Let's turn this off. The BLBL. Oh my god, BLBL. Is it okay if I show this on stream right now? I'm sorry, it's really good. Oh my god. BLBL. That's really good. Hold on, let me save this. Yeah, okay, woohoo! Let's do this, and then BLBL. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Where's the BLBL? Guys, this is what Apollo edited. It's BLBL. What chapter are you on anyways? I still haven't done anything past Kanto 7. So like I did clear Kanto 7, but I've been working on like getting all of my main units at least to up to date. And like fully upgraded and stuff. So yeah, BLBL, look at them go. Yeah. What if we could do like one pull on Limbus? That's the thing we could do, you know? Why the hell not? Where is my Limbus company? Let's see. Will it open? Do I need to download anything? Probably. I hope I don't need to download like 10 gigabytes of stuff. That'd be really awkward. Don't pull? Why not? I have lunacy. In theory I could. But you're right, I probably should save To be honest, you can relegate Limbus in Discord VC just so you won't meet the annoying audience. I could, but I don't really like... I don't know. I like experiencing Limbus on my own. Now that I've played through Contest 7 on my own, it's really peaceful. Your luck is in the 11th to 20th pull, aka the second 10 pull. I see. For the stream. I see. So we're not pulling, because I don't want to use up too much lunacy. I was gonna do 110 pull. I also need to like pull to get the snake. The snake. I also, what's it called? I also have too many units to level up, so I guess for now we're actually just not gonna pull or do anything. Can you play Reverse 1999 instead? Oh my god, it's been a hot minute since I've played Reverse 1999. Indie Cross? I don't know. Let's see. Is VTube Studio working? It is. My OBS is just doing that thing where it freezes. Oh no. Even if I didn't know anything about Indie Cross and like all the games featured in it, I wouldn't be able to watch it just on account of my OBS is now frozen because it does that whenever I open games, which is so annoying. I don't know why it does that. Might be a driver thing. It didn't used to do that. So, what? Let's see. We did make it to an hour, so in theory I could end now, but I feel like that's kind of, you know, it's on YouTube. Yeah, yeah, but the thing is, my OBS full on is actually, in theory, you know what? Why the hell not? Let me go back here. Actually, okay, yeah, my Chrome isn't showing, so no, we're not getting copyright struck by Chaosma House again. Well, you can watch like a little bit. Okay. Okay, can you guys see it? Is it on the screen right now? Because I, for real, cannot see it because my thing is frozen. Shout out to OBS. Yay. No? Damn it. Okay. Never mind then. Hold on. Okay, what about now? Is it there perchance now? And is it covering too much of the screen up? Because if it is, let me know, because if we can't, then if it is, then I kind of can't watch it. Oh wait, it unfroze. Wait, it unfroze. Okay, I guess this is a sign. So I guess we're watching it right now. We're gonna see what happens. Actually, I should pause the background music. Oopsie. There we go. Okay. This is gonna be like the most underwhelming reaction ever. I'm so sorry. Okay. This has no copyright strikes. It's Guy. This is without... Oh. Wait, hold on. Are the captions... They are in English. They're just translated into something more understandable. React slop, let's go! Audio? Is it not playing? Oh my god. Bruh, okay. Let's do this. Is it playing now? I'm hoping it is. Okay, it looks like it is. I feel like this would go so much harder if I knew what was going on. Bro has changed art styles. Shovel. Drop spin the shovel. Shovel knight. Oh. Holy frick, Minecraft block. Mysterious orb of doom. No surface level knowledge and I enjoyed it. Great, I have less than surface level knowledge because I full on don't know some of the games. I mean, the fight scenes are really good. How many people was this made by? Because this is kind of insane. Episode 2 is much better in regards to everything. I don't know if I'll watch episode 2. I can barely comprehend episode 1 as is. I feel bad though. Including the story. Oh. So far, from what I've gathered. Okay. I don't want to pause in the middle of a fight scene. Okay, so basically Shovel Knight is a gay man. Okay. Got you, bro.
Hey, big guy, over here.
Whoa. What? Whoa.
I'm gonna level with you. I'm surprised it doesn't. Whoa.
It's the guy and OST chain? They're kind of crazy. You can believe me, I would never lie. Watch out, Blue Middle Hammer, it's really hard to catch you. There's more of them? That's kinda awkward. It's kinda really awkward. Someone's gonna appear next, trust. Someone, I don't know who. That guy is called the Mug. Is he actually? I appreciate all the different animation techniques they're using here. Frisk! Their knife is kind of like looking funny. Answer Undertale OST.
It's too much, stranger. Their forces grow in volume. We're
No, he's a
simply
cup.
no match.
Clearly you've never rodeo with a Cupmeister. I only just got here. Get you this joint, got a question on my mind.
Retreat. A perfect suggestion, Valiant Talking Flask.
He's Valiant Talking Flask.
My eyes closed.
Now is not the time for big talk, Magic Flask.
I'm a cup.
He's a
fountain of
cup.
Springs is still a fountain.
You don't get around much, do you?
He teleported. Oh, that's really awkward.
Return to position. Focus on fighting the rogues. We don't have much time.
I might suggest otherwise, but he likes lying to you. Let's see. Who do I trust more in this situation? Oh, it's, the knight. Yeah. He's fighting some has-been hotel looking guy. Oh. Teleportation? Oh. Oh. Episode 1 is essentially power display and stuff. The actual story is episode 2. I see. I am enjoying episode 1 so far, even if I don't really know what's going on. And what else? I appreciate these two's dynamic.
Kingdom come if you hadn't dragged me.
It's too dangerous to fight them. They outsize us. Plenty against a couple. What logic is going against simple math?
Well, let me think. Two bozos against a bad guy equals fat chance of a loss.
You disgrace the almighty math in vain?
Yeah, well, your almighty could shove it. I'm taking on bigger and badder than this.
That's so easy to say. Until you know what foes you're up against. Something you clearly don't know yet.
Well, hold on. How do I know you're not just some phony baloney, huh?
I just
The
saved
math.
you.
Yeah, to have the fun in killing me all to yourself.
You think of me so lowly. I understand. This army does not signify vain nor malice. It's a sworn oath to combat the greater evil ahead. If I had thought you evil, I would have slain you right where you stand.
Oh, so you think you have the higher ground? Think you can just slay me right here?
Whimsical Flask. Friend, I don't mean to alarm you, but you don't have any valor.
Oh, you don't
Shouldn't
just
they
get
be
to call
fighting
me a
like the
friend
bad
in front
guy?
of a fight like that.
It's a
Instead of,
fight
like,
you're wanting with me.
It's
each
a
other.
fight you're gonna get if you don't quit flapping your lips.
Like-
See through me all you must.
This is kind
But
of.
it is you who I saved. It is you who needs saving. It is I that will do my bidding.
Stand down.
I'm afraid you'll have to remove my legs if you expect me to kneel, stranger.
The name's Cuphead, and you're crossing the
He said.
line.
He said the. He said the
All right, you
name.
ding dong.
Absent-minded buffoon.
Goofball.
Magic flask.
I'm a cop.
I think he's a cup.
I have so many questions. Oh, hello! You startled me a bit there. Do
Bro
you happen to
is
know
having a
way out
moment.
by any chance? Whoa, easy now! Please put that knife away! I don't know who you are or what you want, so can you please just lower the knife so we can talk this out?
That's.
You know what? Screw you!
I can't believe he called him a slur. A flask. Oh my gosh. Is that a pan? That is a pan. That's Madeline. She's Canadian. Oh. That explains why she looks like that. And by that I mean ginger. Kind of. She has red hair. That's the only thing she's ever known about. Oh. Not her stand? She has a stand.
That was quite excessive, don't you think?
Eh. Oh, back to these two. And she stands. And she stands Undertale. She stand Undertale. That's just a Canadian thing? I wouldn't know. I'm American. No. It's called Battle Line. I see. Stars. Bro is using Swift like the Pokemon move. Bro is using his ult? His Genshin ult? No. Cuphead also has a stand. Is he not his own stand? What is going on? These are good fight scenes though, I will say. Even if I still can't understand what's going on. This shot is a reference to when Shovel Knight got launched to Mars and had to craft a shovel with his bare hands to get back to Earth. How does making a shovel get you back to Earth?
I don't know, Madeline. It was a split-second
Oh, her name is
decision.
Madeline, not Madeline.
We'll never know if they survived. But to be fair, they were chasing me with a knife. I don't think they had good intentions.
Let's not worry about it now and keep moving. We don't want to stay here any longer than we have to. Do you hear that?
What is it?
Little guy.
Arms down, little cup. It's finished.
Put him up. I'm not done yet.
Fighting is futile in your current condition.
But no, you're right. I'm done for. Before you take me down, tell Elder Kettle and Muggsy it was
So
me
there is
who
a
broke
mug,
the
and
picket
that's not
fence.
him. Ho ho,
Wait,
he
what?
has lied to me.
It wouldn't have happened if my brother handed over the stupid yo-yo. It was all, oh, Cuphead, you've been using it for hours. It's my turn. And I'm like, well, you used it. Well, I can't think of when right now, but you definitely used it. And I... Hey, what gives?
If I were to kill you, I would have
They're
done it
homies?
now, my friend.
But you look pretty hit up yourself, Chief.
This Elder Kettle and Muggsy.
That little white guy's
Excuse
tonight.
me?
Why does everyone have a
Don't mind me.
stand?
You seem to embolden mighty strength for who you would consider as family. My wounds still carry, but your life depends on remaining stronger. For Elder Kettle and Muggsy. Okay, what is this? What brings you merry and jolly?
You wouldn't understand. So where'd you get moves like that anyway? Bringing it in with a right hook out of nowhere like Kaplowy.
Ha ha! Young Cup, a knight never gives away his secrets.
But you're going to anyway,
All
right?
right, here's my secret. I've been training with ancient sorcery for many a time, from young, and it all comes from this shovel.
Jimmy Jam
The
Jones,
shovel.
that shovel's really something.
I had not been alone in training.
Reminds me
either.
of Far Cry
Many
5
of my
when I only
compadres
used
trained
shovels.
alongside our stead, preparing for a future to protect our people and save the distressed.
What a weird use of shovels. Back where I
I'm
came
really
from,
curious
we
what
used
someone with
those
no
to pick
knowledge
up
of the game
vegetables,
thinks of
dig
the
holes
show.
and bury the deceased.
It's cool.
Shall we move forward? I need to find safety.
I like
Dad, I'll
I
hear
like the
something.
Shovel Knight
I
guy.
hope it wasn't too
I'm sure
awkward.
you must be missing your family.
I like how he
Elder Kettle and
talks. It's
Mugsy.
funny.
Great heavens, is that not his name, ye jester of yonder?
Jester of yonder, I will smite you down. There's a lot of subplots happening, which I'm not mad about. They're pretty good. I do want to know what's going on with like these guys in Frisk. What else? It's nice that they don't just like randomly like they're not just constantly like throwing in. Guess what? There's also this guy, and there's also this guy, and there's also this guy. It's pretty easy to keep up with actually. Mugsy's name, but in Cuphead's world, he's a cognitive hazard that makes it so that whoever hears his name has to burst out into laughter. Oh. Is that how he actually works? Oh, her stand disappeared. Oh, guy. This is some really elaborate fanfiction. Misinformation. That looks painful. Like just a little bit.
Initiating recall command for all drones. Repeat, all drones return to position immediately. Oh no.
Funky. They're disintegrating like titans. Oh my god. Attack on Titan mention.
Excuse me? We're not hostile. We're just looking for a way out of this place. Think you can help us out?
My powers are very limited in this current state. If you wish to get out of here, you need...
Watch out!
So what I'm getting at here is that Frisk is kind of the bad guy a little bit, or maybe some kind of like funky anti-hero.
Are you alright?
To be continued. That was pretty good. Okay, yeah, that was nice. Definitely it would have been more intense. I feel like not knowing where the people are from honestly didn't hinder my experience too much, to be honest. It was like surprisingly okay, actually. Yeah, like from what I got, Madeline's just some guy, Hollow Knight's just some guy, Frisk is trying to kill everybody. The other two are like bonding for some reason. Like good for them though. But like otherwise, yeah. Continue. I don't know. Let's see. How long is the next episode? 49 minutes. Probably not, because this is labeled the Damian reading stream, and we have in fact spent like almost 30 minutes not reading Damian. Maybe some other day. Maybe I'll watch it on my own time. Maybe I'll watch it even like after this stream and be like, yo, that was actually kind of fire. But for now, I think we're good on like not watching it, you know? Speaking of which, we've strayed so far from actually reading Damian. Maybe do we dare read it again? I don't know. Let's see. It would take another 45 minutes 45 minutes, which I don't really have because I do have a time limit. Maybe like once, I keep saying this all the time, but I do have like time limits just because I have to work on so many things that are due like immediately. But once the semester ends, I swear I will be having longer streams too. In addition to more streams, longer streams, okay? Trust. But for now, I think we're good to just end because, you know? Okay. Good luck with the tasks. Thank you. I got like 5 papers to write, and that's like, I don't want to write them, but I kind of need to in order to graduate, because if I don't write them, I will not pass my classes. I also need to study for my philosophy of law exam. Alas, the 3-hour PvP civilization stream. Oh my god. Finally, after so long, PvP civilization returns. Okay. I'm like also really out of it. I'm sorry. You're gonna what? No, not VTuber graduation. I mean university graduation. And I need to specify that every single time. Oopsie, I'm not VTuber graduating. I'm university graduating. Don't worry. Yeah. So, otherwise, if it was VTuber graduation, I just wouldn't do the paper so that I never graduate. Just kidding. Anyways, yeah, I am for real gonna end now. Thank you guys for coming in and dropping in, and everyone else who's maybe watching this in the future. I gotta write these papers, and then for streams, let's see. Let me look at what we have on the schedule. I think, is there anything tomorrow? I think we do have Apollo Justice tomorrow. We have Apollo Justice tomorrow, and then Sunday is canceled just because many of the things that I have to do are in fact due on Sunday. So, yeah, I will be in fact ending now for real. See you guys tomorrow, same time for Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney. Yay! What about my justice? Oh my god. Yeah, your justice, we're gonna play your justice. Okay, but for real, I'm going to go now. Bye bye everybody. Otsunana, wee!